Hello, my dear friends from Facebook and also from YouTube and also from Energy Radio. I'm glad to be here this very hour to share knowledge, to share understanding, to help you to rise from whatever place that you find yourself at this very hour. You might find yourself going through a situation that you never thought that you will be going through a situation. Maybe you find yourself going through something that you never thought that you will be passing or going through that stage of life. I want to emphasize that it is so important for us to be lucid. It is so important for us to have the spiritual lucidity to see beyond what is happening in front of us, to see not what they told us to see, to hear not what everybody's saying, to feel or to know not what everybody's feeling, but to go beyond. That's why I said from the beginning, I repeat it now, it's so important for us to have the spiritual lucidity. The spiritual lucidity is the opposite of being unconscious. It's the opposite of being delirious. And with so much information, with so much is happening, there are many of those who are being delirious. Delirious come, as we all know, it can happen when someone gets sick, when someone, and I'm talking about a physical sickness, and I'm talking about the spiritual sickness that come because of the fact that so much is being taken in. Nothing is being filtered. We just taken in. And as the physical way happens when someone gets something inside their body that it is toxic, the person becomes sick, the person will get a high temperature, and eventually the person can become delirious. The person can begin to see, to hear, to feel things that are not really there, but because of the condition that the person have, because of high temperature, that person's mind, that person's sense the person becomes to be delirious. In the same way, it could happen in the spiritual way. When a person begin to take everything that is being said, when the person begins to believe everything that is being spoken, when you begin to pay attention to so much that is going on, and you begin to believe this, and then you begin to believe that, in spite of your religion, in spite of your denomination, you begin to take everything inside, then you can become a spiritual delirious. You can begin to see. You can begin to hear. You can begin to live your life not according to the truth, but according to the delirious condition that you have fallen into just by taking in everything that is happening around. A same thing happen when we put into our body things that are toxic. We become sick, we become delirious, and we're no longer able to see or to do what we are supposed to do, but then we go in a completely opposite direction of what we were supposed to be going. My dear friends, I exhort you to have a spiritual lucidity. Spiritual lucidity to be able to see the difference between what is not true and what is true. To be able to see the difference, that not everything that shines is gold. To know the difference between a lie and to know the difference between the truth. But for this to happen, we must have the spiritual lucidity to be able to see, the spiritual understanding, because lucidity, as we know, it means complete understanding. It means a complete and clear vision of our surroundings, of our paths. And how can we have a clear vision of where we're going, of what we're going to do? How can we not know what to do when we have lucidity? No, when we have spiritual lucidity, we have a clear vision. We have a clear understanding. We are not taking back and forward and backward, but everything that we hear, that we feel, or that is around. And for this to happen, we must be very careful. We must be careful that we don't fall into that unconsciousness, into that can make our soul, our inside being, become sick. We must be careful that we don't digest a spiritual toxicity that will make you delirious. That can make you either spiritual delirious, staying away from the truth, staying away from reality, staying away from what have been established from the beginning and cannot be changed. Staying away from that which is very, very clearly spoken by the teacher of all, Jesus, when he says, once a person have this clarity, the person has a clear path and is completely not bound, is completely independent from every bound, from every chain, from every things that can keep us back. So in this very hour, I exhort you to be lucid. I exhort you not to allow yourself to be caught up in the match of the saying and the match of the hearing, but that you could take a moment to reflect, take a moment to meditate, you take a moment to stay away from that which will bring nervousness, will bring stress. Stay away from the many, many, many voices of someone telling you what to do with your life, what to do with your career, what to do for your family, and to take a step back to reflect, to meditate, and this will bring a spiritual healing. This will bring sanity. This will bring elevation. This will bring that energy that can bring life, that can bring healing, that can uplift, that can take you from the place that you are into another place. As I said from the beginning of this video, and I continue to say, there is a difference between having spiritual lucidity and being unconscious. It's a difference between seeing what everybody's seeing, what they want you to see, what they want you to feel, what they want you to do, and seeing and actually doing what we are supposed to be doing. What it was said, it was written, it was spoken by the teacher, Jesus, that if we can follow the certain step, if we can follow this blueprint, we are not going to be bound. We are not going to be unconscious. We're going to be a people who are conscious, who will know the path that we should go. We're going to have spiritual clarity, being able to see, being able to make decisions that at the end will produce good result for your life and for those who are around you, for your family, and for everyone that will come in contact. I oftentimes encourage people, exhort people to take a step back and to stop from the running, from the back and forth, and to stop listening to so many people and to sit down and hear the voice of the master, hear the voice of the teacher, hear the voice through the meditation, hear the voice to the reflection of the truth that can take you to a place of rest, a place of being lucid, a place of being able to hear, to see much more than what is in front of us. As I said before, we are not here to waste time. I'm not here to ask you for what you can give me to make you my disciple. I'm here to share my experience of being lucid, my spirit of being an independent follower of the one who taught us, of the one who gave us the blueprint that how can we be truly happy? How can we not only be happy just for us, but happy for those who are around us, for those who will come after us? There is a purpose. There's a purpose, and we can never find this purpose when we are unconscious, but only when we have the spiritual lucidity. Only when we can be independent. Only we can be a independent follower of the truth, follower of that which it cannot be changed. People have tried to change. People have tried to masquerade. People have tried to take people into a different path, but the path has been placed there from the beginning, the path that can take us to the place where we are supposed to be from the beginning. They have nothing to do with religion. They have nothing to do with denomination, have nothing to do with ethnicity, but have much to do with us having spiritual lucidity, not being unconscious, not taking everything that is toxic. It's not everything that sounds good, that sounds excited, that sounds very well, that can do good for you, that can uplift you. Many things can just be very toxic. Spiritual toxicity is what can keep a person being delirious. And as I say, when somebody is delirious, they have no notion of what is true or what is not true. They have no notion of reality and truth. They're just being delirious, just seeing things that are not true, feeling things that are not there, hearing things, and even doing things that are not common, because the condition, that toxicity that came, make the person spiritual sick, and eventually this person become delirious and completely separated away from the truth. Is the opposite. Delirious is the opposite of lucidity. And what I see today, and what the teacher told us, it's told us to be lucid, to have a clear understanding, to have a clear vision, to know where are we going. And when we are not lucid, when we don't have a spiritual lucidity, we don't know where to go. We wander, we run back and forth. This is what is caused by this spiritual delirious, being spiritual delirious. This everything that we take that it make us away from the reality, stop us from moving forward into the purpose, into what we were created to be. Oh, my dear listener from YouTube and from Facebook. I'm glad here to share knowledge, to share understanding, not to talk about religion, but to remind you that it's so important for us to be lucid at these times where we are living. So important that we don't get caught up in this frenzy, deliriousness that is going around. It's time for us to be spiritual lucid. It's time for us to not allow ourselves to be caught up for what we are seeing, for what we are hearing. But as the teacher of all, as the teacher, the master, Jesus, give us the key to be lucid, the key to be independent, the key not to be bound to a denomination, to our organization, not to be held back by anything created by man, but to live a life of independence, a life that is worth of living, a life that not only can benefit you, but will benefit those who are around you, friends, family, co-workers, and everyone that will come in contact. I remember when I was delirious. I remember when I used to see what they told me to see, when I used to hear what they told me to hear, when I used to do what they told me to do. And I asked myself one day, hey, it have to be something much more than just this. That's when true healing took place. That's when my eyes became open. That's when I became lucid. That's when true healing, that's when true happiness came. That's when that energy that don't die, but the energy that can touch everyone came and touch me. That's when my eyes became open. And today I can share my own experience, and I can tell you that you could also have a spiritual lucidity, that you can also escape from that frenzy, escape from being unconscious, that you can also do good, better, and even greater than what you thought you could be in each and every areas of your life. I'm glad to be here to share this, and I hope that you have a day that is full of light. I hope that from today on we will begin to seek to do everything so we can be lucid, that we can have the spiritual lucidity, so we can go to the place where we are supposed to go as a friends, a family, and everyone that will come in contact. Until then, and you have a day that is full of light. Bye-bye.